Evolution is a mistake. It is a blind, chaotic roll of the genetic dice. For thousands of years, humanity believed we were the finished product. We were wrong. Hidden within the 23rd chromosome of select individuals lies the X gene, a dormant sequence that doesn't just grant abilities, it rewrites the user's entire biological destiny. But not all mutations are created equal. In the files of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the databases of Cerebro, mutants are not classified by their names. They are classified by their threat level. There are 6 distinct tiers. At the bottom you have the tragedies, mutants whose DNA has destroyed their lives without giving them any power in return. At the top, you have the gods, beings whose very existence threatens the laws of physics. From the epsilon-level outcasts who live in the sewers to the omega-level entities capable of extinguishing the sun, we are going to break down the biological hierarchy of the mutant race. Level 1. Epsilon, the tragedies. We start at the bottom. The Epsilon class. If the X gene is a lottery, these are the people who lost everything. Epsilon mutants represent roughly 20% of the mutant population, yet you will rarely see them on an X-Men team. Why? Because their mutation offers no tactical advantage. It offers only deformity. Biologically, the X gene has failed them. It triggered a physical transformation, changing their skin color, growing extra limbs, altering their skeletal structure. But it failed to generate an energy signature. They have the look of a monster, but the power level of a human. Consider the mutant known as Beak. His bones hollowed out like a bird's. His face pushed outward into a keratinized beak. His body became covered in patchy feathers. He suffered the pain of a total skeletal rewrite, but he gained no flight, no super strength, no energy projection. He simply became fragile. Epsilon mutants are tragic because they cannot pass for human, yet they cannot defend themselves like mutants. They are the outcasts of the outcast, often abandoned by their families and forced into underground communities like the Morlocks. Their existence proves that nature is not cruel, it is simply indifferent. Level 2. Delta, the invisible. One step up, we find the Delta class. This is the most common classification, making up nearly 50% of all mutants. Deltas are the lucky ones, or the boring ones, depending on your perspective. Unlike epsilons, they have no major physical deformities. They can walk down the street, hold a job, and pass for human without anyone looking twice. But their powers are subtle, non-offensive, and often entirely passive. A delta mutant might have the ability to change their eye color. They might be able to guess the weight of an object perfectly every time. They might have a slightly enhanced immune system. Biologically, the X gene has activated, but it remains at a low hum. It hasn't rewritten their physiology, it has simply tweaked it. Take the mutant Cypher, for example. Before his symbiote upgrade, his power was purely linguistic. He could understand any language. To the naked eye, he is just a smart kid. There is no energy projection, no telepathy, no claws. Deltas rarely register on sentinel scanners unless they are in close proximity. They are the sleepers of the mutant race, living normal lives, often never even realizing they are mutants until a blood test exposes them. They prove that evolution isn't always an explosion. Sometimes, it's a whisper. Level 3. Gamma. The monsters. Now, the danger creates a spike. The Gamma class. This is where the X-Men usually find their recruits. Gamma mutants possess significant, combat-ready power. They are dangerous. They are strong. But there is a catch. The Gamma mutation is biologically leaky. The power cannot be contained within a human shell, so the body must be permanently altered to house it. Gamma mutants cannot pass for human. Ever. Their mutation is always on. Look at Nightcrawler. He can teleport, yes, but he's permanently blue, has 3 fingers, a tail, and yellow eyes. He cannot turn off his appearance. Look at the Blob. His power is an immovable center of gravity and super durability, but the cost is a metabolic mutation that forces his mass to expand constantly. He is a prisoner of his own flesh, or marrow whose bones grow uncontrollably, ripping through her skin to form armor and weapons. The pain is constant. Her biology is at war with itself, tearing her apart to keep her alive. Gammas live a life of paradox. They have the power of gods, but they are treated like animals. They are the scary ones. The ones humanity hates on sight, not because of what they do, but because of what they are. Level 4, Beta, the flawed warriors. The Beta class is where we start to see the heavy hitters. Cyclops, T. Wolverine. Rogue, Darling. These are mutants with massive, devastating power potential. They are alpha level in terms of raw output, but they are held back by a single critical biological flaw. They lack control. A beta mutant's power is connected to a biological defect that prevents them from turning it off. Scott Summers' Cyclops is a living nuclear reactor. His eyes are portals to a dimension of pure kinetic energy, but he lacks the neurotransmitters to close those portals. Without his ruby quartz visor, he destroys everything he looks at. He cannot make eye contact with the woman he loves. He is a gun that is permanently firing. Rogue is another tragic beta. Her skin absorbs the life force and memories of anyone she touches. It is an incredible defense mechanism, but it is a curse of isolation. She cannot feel a hug, a handshake, or a kiss without hurting the other person. Betas can pass for human, as long as they are careful. But that care requires constant, exhausting vigilance. One slip-up, one broken pair of glasses, one accidental touch, and their secret is out. They are walking weapons with broken safety switches. Level 5. Alpha, the perfect soldier, the Alpha class. This is the gold standard, the apex of controlled evolution. Alpha mutants represent less than 10% of the population. They have it all. They look human. They possess world-altering power levels. And most importantly, they have total conscious control over their abilities. They can turn it on. They can turn it off. Colossus can turn into organic steel to stop a train, and then turn back to flesh to paint a picture. Storm can summon a hurricane that levels a city, or she can water a single flower pot, all with a thought. Magneto, the master of magnetism, controls one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe, yet he can walk through a crowd unnoticed until he chooses to float. Biologically, the alpha mutation is stable. The X gene has perfectly integrated with the host's physiology. There are no leaks, no deformities, no pain. They are what humanity fears the most, not because they are monsters, but because they are better than us. They are the replacements. Level 6, Omega, the world enders. And finally, we reach the designation that keeps Nick Fury up at night. The Omega level. The official definition of an Omega-level mutant is a being whose dominant power has no definable upper limit. These are not superheroes. They are sentient resources of universal energy. An alpha-level mutant can change the weather. An Omega-level mutant can terraform a planet. Iceman isn't just a guy who throws snowballs. He is an Omega-level hydrokinetic capable of freezing the water molecules in your blood or sending the entire Earth into a new ice age within seconds. Legion, the son of Professor X, has thousands of personalities, each with a different Omega-level power. He can rewrite history, alter time, and warp reality simply because he had a bad dream. Magneto is often debated, but strictly speaking, he has limits. Jean Grey, when bonded with the Phoenix Force, does not. She consumes stars. She rearranges matter at the subatomic level. She decides who lives and who dies on a galactic scale. Biologically, Omega shouldn't exist. Organic bodies shouldn't be able to channel this much power without disintegrating. They are walking singularities, living glitches in the matrix of reality. They are the reason the Sentinel program exists. Because when a single individual has the power to crack the tectonic plates of the Earth, can you really afford to let them have a bad day? The Omega level classification was recently redefined in the House of X storyline. completely changing the hierarchy of the Marvel Universe. If you want to know exactly which mutants made the new list, and which famous X-Men were cut from the team, you need to watch this breakdown right here.